it's your girl Shantae Latrese, and welcome back to my channel. So you guys, we are in quarantine and chill, so that gives me a lot of time to go and actually be creative and make some videos while I am working from home. And so you guys, I just kind of want to talk to you guys and kind of give you guys a sense of where I'm at with this whole coronavirus COVID-19 thing that's going on. Let me turn this TV down. Hold on one second. Okay, you guys. So this whole coronavirus, it started out as this thing where it was kind of like, oh, it's not a big deal, or we don't need to be worried about it, or we're not going to be affected by it, etc. To it being this big old thing where you can't turn on the TV, you can't get on your phone, you can't do anything, you can't even read your emails without hearing about something about this whole coronavirus that's going on right now. But here's the thing about it is, when I first started hearing about it, I just started immediately listening to what I was hearing in the news, what people were saying at work, what people were saying around me, and I was just soaking in that information without knowing the actual facts. And so finally I was like, you know what, let me go on the CDC website and actually get some numbers. Let me look at these analytics. And to be honest, even though the analytics are small, you guys got to understand this. In China, it also started off small. Making all kind of messes up here. In China, it also started off small, and then it became a huge thing. So we kind of have to act like this is a big deal, because we need to be able to sustain and control this before it becomes an even bigger ordeal like it is in China or Italy or etc. So I think that if we didn't panic and if we didn't, act all crazy about the situation, then I don't think that we would have been able to get the funding in order for us to be able to perform these tests to see who does have the virus. Another thing is, one thing that I'm not liking on social media is I'm seeing a lot of younger people, especially my generation, who's saying like, oh, it doesn't matter, like we're not affected anyways. You may not be affected, but there may be somebody that you're around that you didn't know had diabetes, or you didn't know they were suffering from leukemia. You didn't know that they had these underlying issues, but because they were in your age group, you figured that they're not going to have an issue. And then next you know, they get sick and it becomes a bigger issue than what it was because of your carelessness. Furthermore, like for me, it's all about our elders too. So for me, going into work, exposing my boss, who is definitely up in age, to this virus, and knowing that this could really, really, truly affect him, I would prefer not to go into the office and expose him to that. So I think that we need to be very careful in our context and the things that we're saying when it comes to this virus, because it is definitely a big deal. We should definitely take it serious. I don't care how small the numbers is. That is an indication of what we need to do. And for me, I'm an audit manager. I'm always assessing the risk. And I think that's an important aspect to have on life in general. We have to assess the risk. Here's the downfall to all of this, because although I agree with the work from home and the social distancing and all that good stuff, it really sucks for the frontline workers who do not have the capability to be able to work from home. So even when I just go to the grocery store to pick up some toilet paper and I'm looking at the cashier because I'm having to give her my money, I feel bad that I'm not the only person who's possibly exposing her to this virus, because I may not have any symptoms. And so it really is unsettling, because for these frontline workers, they can't just not come to work because they're worrying about how they're going to pay their bills. And so if they don't have a cough, or even if they do have a cough and they feel like they go into this office, go into the office, they're thinking, oh, it's probably just my allergies. I probably just have a cold. You know what I mean? They're not going to go actually take the extra measure of getting tested, let's be honest. The other horrible aspect of this whole situation is that there's not enough tests available for this. And I know this is all over the news, and I honestly really don't know how to take this, because how could we have prepared better for this? Like, you really think about it, like, how could we really have prepared for this? So I went back just to really further educate myself. I started looking at Pandemic. You guys, if you haven't heard about Pandemic, it's a series on Netflix, and they talk about all these different series of pandemics that have happened in the past, which is interesting because I'm not a big TV person, so I don't really know a lot that's, going on sometimes, and sometimes it can be months before I even watch the news. So for me to go back and look at this pandemic, and I'm like, wow, like all of these things that was happening in history that I wasn't even aware of, like this definitely isn't a new thing. The other thing about the coronavirus is that corona itself is not a new thing. It was actually discovered way back years ago in China. But the thing about that is now they found a different strand of it, which is the COVID-19. So a lot of people are throwing out this whole conspiracy thing, and I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it because the corona is not new. It's just a new grouping of it, which is the COVID-19. So with that being said, you know, I'm really over Trump. I'm really over Trump calling this a Chinese virus. Like, that's crazy. Yes, it came from China, but there are other people than Chinese people that live in China. But anyways, I just think it's very disrespectful, but it's not the first disrespectful thing he said. So, but anyways, you guys, I'm not gonna make this super long. Me and my girl Sophie J, she's in town. Hey. So we're actually gonna make some TikTok videos, because what else do you do when it's quarantine and chill? You make TikTok videos. So follow us on TikTok, or follow me on TikTok at Shantae Latrese, SHANTAE. I'm not going to spell it out because you guys, it's the same as it is on the YouTube channel, okay? Just spell it out. I love you guys. It's your girl Shantae Latrese. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Deuces.
Bye.